So around late 2025, I stopped playing Genshin Impact, and it simply started off as just like me taking a break from playing the game, but the time just went on and 1 week turned into two, and then next thing I knew it was a whole month, and then the game got updated and I didn't even bother downloading the new updates and checking out what's new or whatever, and I was simply just burnt out from playing this game. So I've been thinking and I've come up with like a few reasons as to why I stopped playing this game, and I wrote a few of them down so that I don't spiral and just go off topic in this video. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so reason number one, I wrote grinding for RNG, which if you know anything about playing Genshin Impact, it's a gacha game, but the RNG aspect of this game isn't just with like characters and weapons and anything like that, but also with like the leveling up system. Like for example, when you want powerful artifacts in this game, you have to use resin, which it takes a long time to accumulate resin unless if like you're using primogems to get resin, which by the way cost money or you have to grind for them. And if you've ever grinded in Genshin Impact, you know how long it takes. And it's like even when you have the resin to grind for these artifacts, you're not necessarily guaranteed the artifacts that you actually want for your specific characters, which in turn adds up in time. So yeah, this game doesn't respect your time unless you pay. And it's not even like with the leveling up system only, but even with getting new characters. If you're free to play, you have to grind in order to get primogems, and then you have to engage with the gacha system, which by the way, you're not even guaranteed the character that you're wishing for. So yeah, that's reason number one. And reason number two is, and I know that this doesn't necessarily apply to this game since it's not necessarily PvP, but Genshin feels a little bit more pay to win, if that makes sense, because especially like with the always changing meta whenever they add like a new region or a new character, sometimes they give you these boss fights or these mechanics that need you to engage with the new meta or mechanics which come behind locked characters that you have to either wish for or something along those lines. Like for example, if you remember the Natlan region, sometimes if you wanted to explore Natlan, you either needed a Natlan character or you would use some of the, I want to say, creatures that they put in the world that you could use for exploration. But those were made kinda, I guess, I wouldn't say clunky, but it was just, I guess in a sense, unfun to use rather than say having a character who can basically move around freely. And also it wasn't just with exploration, but with mechanics when it comes to fighting either bosses or other characters in the Natlan region. And I think they do this in the new region as well, Not Cry. That's where I left the game. But yeah, Natlan used this mechanic called the Night Soul, I think it was, and yeah, if you didn't have like a lot of like Natlan characters, certain things you couldn't do in Natlan. And I think it's the same with Not Cry, where if you do not have a Not Cry character who has like a Luna mechanic, certain bosses and even world enemies are kind of difficult to fight, or they take maybe like twice as long to beat without a character from that region. So yeah, so when I say like pay to win and not necessarily PvP, like that's what I mean, you know, like it has its own meta or it has its own, how you call, like mechanics that you need in order to engage with the game, and sometimes those are locked behind certain characters. And even if they do give you ways to get around it with like world mechanics and whatnot, it's still not as fun as you would if you had like a character that is from that region. And this is one of the major reasons why I actually stopped making Genshin videos, because a lot of it is mostly, unless if you're doing challenges, a lot of content creation in the Genshin space is mostly meta based. It's, hey, a new character just came out and they can do this amount of damage and they work with certain characters, and when you're free to play like I was, it's kind of taxing and time consuming, plus the grind sometimes can get like extremely annoying. So yeah, that's another reason. And the last reason why I stopped playing Genshin for as long as I did is basically overall burnout. The problem with this game is that it is marketed as a game that has an end as you play the story, like you follow the traveler and his adventures and whatnot, and you get the sense that this game will end at some point. But it's been going on for I don't know how many years now. I think Genshin came out in like 2020 or 2021 if I'm correct. I'm not even sure, but I started playing it in like 2023 the earliest, or maybe it was like 2022 the latest. I need to check on that to make sure, but yeah, the game feels like it has no end in sight, and I can understand that the reason why they don't want to end the game is because clearly it's making them a lot of money, and it makes sense on their end to keep the game going and adding new content and so on and so forth, even though like it does sort of like, I guess in my opinion, I'd say it kind of acts like filler to the main story with like some of these regions that they keep adding. But yeah, there is no end to this game. And the other thing with this game is that like there's always so much to do. Like I feel like there's a lot of bloat with this game, and you can avoid it if you want to. Like say for example, like the world quests, you don't have to do those, but then like if you're free to play and you want resources, sometimes you have to engage with some of that extra content to get primo gems and resources and stuff of that nature. So I guess it makes sense. But yeah, another thing about it is that it can cause burnout, and this is something that I encountered, like grinding for new characters and things like that. Just the whole grind is enough to cause burnout, and yeah, I just ended up dropping the game, and I didn't even realize that I actually dropped the game like I said in the beginning. But this is, I guess, the last thing I'm going to say in this video, which is that I actually do plan on playing the game again. Like I'm updating it as we speak, cause when I stopped playing, I basically just left it. I didn't uninstall it, I didn't update it or anything like that. I just left it in my PC and it just stayed there. So now I'm currently updating the game, and I am going to get back into it because I think maybe it's the artist in me, but I hate leaving things unfinished, even video games. So yeah, I will get back into it, but I guess maybe I'll just keep playing, not necessarily like the end game content or grinding for the end game content. I'm just gonna play the story just so I can finish it, because like lately I've been playing other games, right, that aren't, I guess, live service in this case. And I think this is where I started to realize like this is why I enjoy gaming, like playing a game that has an end, like you play it, you enjoy it, and then it ends. They might add some DLC here or additional content along the line, but you can see that the game actually has an end and there's a story that you follow. The game is just published, from beginning to end, and nothing is like, oh, you're gonna have to wait until like we add in new content so that the story can progress. It's just start the game, you finish it, that's it. And recently, like I've been playing other games, like I just finished Mega Man 11 for the second time. I played the game, I think, when I was like 21 years old, and I finished it, and I re-downloaded it, finished it again. And I want to say like a few months ago, I also played GTA San Andreas for the first time in my life, and that was fun too, you know what I mean? Like it's a long game, but it had an end, it had a story that progressed, and it was just there beginning to end, no meta changes or anything like that. And currently I want to play Kena Bridge of the Spirits. I have the game in my PC, like I think I'm even using it right now as as B-roll for the video. I've had this game for a while, and there was this one time my cousin came to visit and he played the game and beat it, and I haven't touched it. So I was like, yeah, let me just cause what's the point of having a game in your PC and not playing it? And that's the thing with me, is like I have a lot of games in my PC, especially in my Steam library, just a lot of games that I need to finish. And with my Epic Games library as well, it's the same story. So many games that I have in there that I need to play and finish. So yeah, I think that's the thing, that's the problem with like playing live service games. Like they consume a lot of your gaming time, in the sense that they want to be a forever game, like a game that you just play every single day, and they incentivize you with certain things like like rewards, like, oh, do dailies and get certain rewards to level up your characters and advance the game and things like that. And it gets to a point where it's like, man, where is the end in this? You know what I mean? Like, when does this end? And I guess that's where I've been, where it's like, yeah, I just want to play a game that I can just finish. I don't want to play one thing for years and see no end in sight, because that is literally the problem with Genshin. And I see a lot of content creators as well in the Genshin space, like they don't even make Genshin content regularly anymore. Like some are burnt out and some don't even know what to do when it comes to like making content, because like their channels were built on Genshin Impact. And I guess in a sense that kind of sucks for them, because like whenever they put out new videos, like when they do something else, no one watches, and that's kind of sad. So I don't want to build my channel on one game, like I need that variety, otherwise I'm just going to lose my mind and be burnt out, like I did get burnt out with Genshin. And the thing about it is, like, when you do get burnt out with Genshin, it basically creeps up on you and you don't even realize that it's happening until it's like a few maybe weeks in. Then you're like, wow, I'm really tired of playing this game. But then again, like, I guess this is just me and my thoughts with the game. But yeah, like I said, I am going to keep playing, but I'm not going to be as invested in it as I was in the beginning. So yeah, I mean, let me know if you encountered maybe like the same thing, or maybe like it's just a me issue when it comes to not necessarily Genshin, but like live service games in general. And leave your thoughts in the comments. I don't have a lot of subscribers, so yeah, chances are I will respond. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video, which I don't even know what it will be about, but I mean, it is a gaming channel, so it will be gaming related. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.